Sandra, let's bring in Missouri Republican Congressman Jason Smith. He is the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee. Just a small assignment that you have here in this Congress. You're going to be presenting this bill to the committee at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Where do you stand on it?
You know, I support this bill. It's not perfect, John, but it definitely does several things that is a step in the right direction. The administration was asking for a blank check debt limit increase. And if you look, even when the Republicans controlled the White House, the House, and the Senate, we didn't get any kind of progress like this. Work requirements for SNAP and TANF. The largest rescissions package that will ever be signed into law. 20 pages of this 99-page bill is just rescissions. You're talking about tens of billions of dollars. And then you're looking at putting into statute administrative pay-go that will prevent trillions of dollars of executive orders being signed into law without having been paid for. I think those are some good steps in the right direction. Is it perfect? No, but I haven't found a piece of legislation yet in Washington that's perfect.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of people in the Republican Party who are saying this is far less than perfect. This is nothing that they want to sign on to. People like Chip Roy, Congressman Ralph Norman, who said in a tweet, quote, "This deal," as he put it in quotation marks, "is insanity. A $4 trillion debt ceiling increase with virtually no cuts is not what we agreed to. Not going to vote to bankrupt our country. The American people deserve better." And here's a sampling of some other reaction. Listen here.
I'm a no at this point. I agree there's some good measures in there, but it doesn't go far enough.
There's going to be a block of us that are a no. And I hope that more Republicans will join with us and stand up. I would like to say that we should kill this.
What do you say to that opposition?
Well, the alternative is that 5 Republicans could join Democrats in a discharge petition and getting a blank check debt limit with 0 items. And that is a real threat because there's members that have said that they would do that. I think that when you're looking for conservatism and common sense, let's make steps in the right direction. Of course, I'd love to have the whole piece of cake, but we can't get the whole piece of cake. Joe Biden controls the White House.
Democrats control the Senate.
And Democrats control the Senate. This is about the best agreement you can get when you can control half of 1/3 of government.
Yeah, and that's exactly the way McCarthy put it this morning on Fox and Friends. Listen here.
There's no new taxes. There's no new government programs. Would I wanted to cut more? Yes, but I was only able to work at less than 15% of the budget. So I'm not quite sure what else they want to go. I think we got to look at where the victories are.
He believes that this is a big victory for him, as you point out. I don't remember any debt ceiling bills that had this many things attached to it. McCarthy said the Democrats are getting nothing out of this except for a rise in the debt ceiling. However, members of the Freedom Caucus are adamant that they are not going to vote for this, which means you've got to get Democrats to come on board in the House. Obviously, you need to have them in the Senate, or this thing goes nowhere. But depending on the number of Democrats that you get and the number of House Freedom Caucus members who do not vote for this, McCarthy could find himself in a similar position that Boehner did back in the 2015-2016 days, where he had to rely on Democrats to get through Republican bills. And that put him in a very precarious position. And when you consider that one of the conditions that McCarthy agreed to become Speaker was a one-vote proposal to vacate the chair, one vote on a motion to vacate the chair, he could find himself in hot water if somebody really wants to push this.
I'll tell you, the one vote to vacate the chair has been in effect for decades for all speakers except Nancy Pelosi changed it in her last time. What I will say is that we haven't had spending caps in 2 years. And when we didn't have spending caps in 2 years, we saw an increase of spending of $10 trillion when the Democrats controlled the White House, the House, and the Senate. This bill puts spending caps in place. This bill puts work requirements that will address the labor shortage. This bill rescinds unobligated COVID dollars of almost $29 billion. These are steps in the right direction. Is it perfect? No. I hope that my colleagues will err on the side of steps to conservatism instead of just a blank check debt limit.
Do you think you'd lose any votes on the Republican side in Ways and Means this afternoon?
I don't believe so. I think that all Republican members of the Ways and Means Committee will be supporting this. However, you're looking at the Freedom Caucus as less than 40 members in the entire conference. This is a bipartisan agreement. There should be Republicans and Democrats that will vote for the final passage of the bill. That is why you negotiate with the White House.
So we were talking just off camera, just to button this up. You figure that if McCarthy gets more than half of the GOP caucus voting for this. He's on safe ground.
That is more than what most debt limits have passed with Republicans in the past when we were in the majority. Simply, if there was more than half, that was a success. We had 217 that voted on the Limit, Save, Grow, which was unprecedented. That's only happened one other time, and that was in 2011. So I think that we're in a good place.
All right. We'll look forward to the results of that vote this afternoon. Congressman Jason Smith, good to have you on. It's not often we get the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee here.
Good to be with you.
Appreciate it. Come back again soon.
Thank you.
Sandra?